Hello and welcome. Thank you for stopping by. I am doing another 50 stack challenge 8 hosted by Amy at CraftyCat. This is her subscriber prompts 2026. I am going to do number 3 time card and number 4 napkin. Number 1 and number 2 was puzzle and rust, and this is what I made. These are going to be pockets for a journal. So they look kind of big, but I'm pretty sure that they will fit. So yep, so that's what I did. If you want to, I do have a playlist on the 50 stack challenge because I've tried to join in on every one that Amy has hosted. So I am going to do time card and napkin. Let's see here. And I made a prototype, so this is just a tea stain file folder that I'm going to use. Actually, I'll leave this down to share what I made. This is what I made, and I have a glare because it's nighttime and I have my overhead light on. So I'm using her, I call them little Viewmaster digitals, and I believe it's in her Whatnot digitals. I'll have to look it up because there was a few of them. Paint swatches. Let me see. Sorry, but this is what I made. It's out of a time card. I have a couple different styles. And I used the taller one, so I'll probably use that. And this is her digitals that I've been working off of. Last year, before I went to Florida, I did her 50 stack challenge 7. This was envelope and ticket was the prompt, and I used the digitals to make these little envelopes. I used paper bag, glued the digital to the inside, and used her little cut-aparts to make these, and she's got tickets as well. So I really like how those turned out. So I'm going to keep the theme going here. Hopefully I'll have enough stuff together to put a journal together. Alright, so I'm going to share how I'm just trying to keep everything together here. Whatnot. Yes, Viewmasters that I used. I can't remember how many's on the page. Let's see here. I got a bucket here. Because I cut them all out. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's probably 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12. There's 12. 12 to a page. So that's gives you quite a few. So they're smaller. So let's see. Let me get started here. How I did this. So I had to make a template, and because this is has moving parts. Sorry for the glare. So these twirl around. So basically, this is the time card, and I used this napkin here to put here. So there's my napkin there. And then these just turn around. I use some brads. I use some clear plastic on the inside. I will put something on the back to cover these up because this will be a belly band and it'll have a spot to put things, you know, underneath. So I don't want anything catching on these, so I will cover that up. Alright, I'll show you how I made it. Alright, I used the time card, and I did use a piece of tea stain file folder for the back. I did stitch it, so we're going to see if that happens. First off, I did cut these out. I'm not very good at fussy cutting, and I do have several sets of square and circle dies. They're not all the same, but I happen to have this one here. It's called Everlasting Circles. I believe it's a new one at Spellbinders. I'll list it, but it has every size circle that you can imagine. I really like that because I'm terrible at cutting things out. But I know a lot of people like doing it, but my hand is too shaky for it. So yeah, I think this one here is the one I cut it out. So I originally cut it out and I had put this together, and before I glued the front on, I realized that these needed to be a little bit stronger. I think this was printed on presentation paper. So I went ahead and cut out some more circles, and I had those ready out of brown cardstock. So let me glue those now so they'll be drying. So I only need 3. Alright, let me get stuff out of the way that I don't really need. Okay. Alright, this was my time card, and looking for my template is here. And I had to figure out size window. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. And where I wanted my circles. I did mess up on the circles. I had to move my hole, but it still worked out. So let me glue these. So I'll put this in the description for you. It's a really good circle die. It has pretty much every size circle you can imagine. I don't know how many dies are in there. I'll tell you. It doesn't say. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Probably says it on the front. No, it doesn't. 16 dies, so that's a really good bargain. Okay. So there's that. I'll leave that there so I don't forget to list it. So let me pick out 3 that I want. I'm kind of going with the fallish dark colors. So I'm thinking, and this kit is so amazing. I'm going to go with those 3 right there. And I'll save these for another project, and I'll glue these. Find my magazine that I had from earlier. And my glue stick. I could use the Barely Art glue, but maybe I will. Maybe I will, because I don't want to get that dries pretty quickly. So let's do that. Alright, let me just get settled here. Oh yeah, and I wanted to distress the outside, so let me do that now, because where I cut it, it didn't quite fit, so I have a little bit of white edge there. I'm not big on distressing, but for this, I will. And it's kind of growing on me. I watch Gail every day, so I'm surprised I'm not doing it to everything. But I really want this, the items I'm making with the prompts to all be cohesive, and hopefully it will turn into a journal. I'll have enough pieces, so that's kind of where I was going with it. So everything has a purpose. Just do that and get rid of that white edge. This should go together pretty quickly because I made all my mistakes already, so that's kind of why I wanted to make a prototype. So just need to get faster at inking. Alright, good enough. Alright, let's glue this. And I used this Fairly Art glue on my last video, and I'm pretty happy with it. I think I'm going to do put it on the brown so I can see. Okay. So I'm overall excited about this glue, for sure. I know all my friends, a lot of my friends use it, so I just haven't. I've been defiant. Right. Just going to line that up and tap it to get it straight. Give it a press. Well, once it's down, so it's a little quicker, but that's okay. I'm going to put my iron on it. Put that there and get that pressed. Okay, got 2 more. Now my last ones I used the glue stick, and I had a little bit of wiggle room, so I'll have to be a little bit more precise this time. Like, be right on. There you go, that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Just going to give it a press. It's just parchment paper that I use to tea stain the folders. Alright, last one. This should be dry by the time I'm ready for them. Just want to make sure the edges are good. Come on, buddy. There we go. Alright, I gotta be spot on. This stuff dries pretty quickly. There we go. I had a little bit of wiggle room. Okay. Alright, let those dry. And then, let's see. So I need to make this. So I've got to cut this out. Basically, I use this cutter because, and I know I'm going to have a glare, because I'm able to lift this up and move it around. So I cut it. I've got my notes here at 2 right there, so I can press it in up to the name, I'm just looking at this. So if you're doing this, just kind of get a plan. And then it cut down to a little past, just going to go down to the total there, like so. Then I'm going to move this and I cut right along that Monday there. I think right there. What did I say? 2 inch and 1.5. I'm just trying to, okay, 1.5 there. That's what I did. I don't think that's right. Let me see where that went. Oh, okay. It's nighttime and I can't see very good, so I'm going to go right on that line. I'm just going to line this up here. Right there. And up to there. Okay. And then across, this is like my template. Like a 1/2 inch. Did I go? Sorry about that. Let me measure. Where I went with that line. I did. So let me just do a pencil line so I can see. This is why I did a template. So I'm just gonna, so once you figure out your window, where you want your window to be, basically right there. So I'm able to pick this up. Just don't want to overcut. I could probably cut it with my scissors, but it would be really crooked. Okay, and then same here. Did I go all the way up there like that? I think I did. Yep. Okay. Don't mind me. I'm just trying to figure out where I went. I can move this, push it in, and then I'll clean it up with the scissors. I think that's good enough. For some reason my locking mechanism is not working. Okay, I'll leave it. Okay, I'm just going to go in with my scissors and finish cleaning it up. Okay, there's that. And I went too far on this one, but that's okay. I'm going to have a napkin on there. Is that where that is? Oops. Hopefully it won't be a train wreck here. A little bit of cleanup, but that's okay. And then get rid of my pencil line. Alright, now I'm just going to put the napkin on there. And I'm going to use my glue stick for that. Because this one I sewed and then I put the napkin on. Yeah, because I would have to dry that, but I'm just going to have to do it. I'll have to try to heat dry it. So I'm just going to put some glue, and I'm just putting the napkin right here because I want to see these lines right here. So let's do this. And after it was dry, I went over the top of the napkin just to seal it with the let's see, the multi-medium matte. I love this stuff. I went over the top of it to seal it because this will hold it, but I just wanted it to be, you know, hands-on and stay. All right, that should be good enough. And then hold this. And then I'm going to lay my napkin right on there. Let's see if I can get about the same. There we go. That's good. That's on there. And then what I like to do, sorry for the noise, is take a wet wipe, hopefully not too wet. Let's see if I can knock some off here. I've got my glass of water here and I'm trying not to spill it. Fold it up. There we go. I'm going to knock some of that wetness off on my paper towel. Then I'm just going to dab this, push it down in. Okay, that's good enough. Alright, now I'm going to get rid of this napkin. Normally I would like to let it dry and then just sand it off. But for video's sake, I can't do that. So, and I'm going to have to dry this so I can sew over the top of it. So we'll see how that's going to work. And the reason I'm sewing is because of the plastic. Okay, there's that. Just make sure it was still good there. Alright, I'm going to try to give it a quick heat set. And for that, I'm going to grab my glass. It's a glass cutting plate, but it will protect my mat because that will warp. Alright, I'm going to make a little bit of noise here. that should be, that's pretty good. I'll be able to sew over the top of that. So let me get rid of this. Okay, now I need something, my plastic sheets. And these are clear protector sheets. I got a glare everywhere. I was going to do the 45-pound tracing paper, but I just felt like it was too opaque and I couldn't see these the way I wanted to see them. So I'm going to use these. So let me just grab one out, and I need a large piece. I scored a big box of these at Goodwill. So I've been using them up for projects. So I'm just going to cut a piece. And with the paper in there, I can cut it with my big cutter. So let's do that. So I don't need that. Bring my cutter over. I think these are dry enough, so I'm going to move these. So I've got room. And I need a piece that is, I'm going to go 3 inches. Did that go that way? No. 3 by, let's just fold this out. 3 by 9. Yeah, I need that. All right, so I'm going to cut my 9 piece and with the paper in there. And I know it's double-sided, so let me cut this so I'm not wasting a whole piece. So I'm just going to cut that real quick. And then take a piece off. Take that off. Okay, so now I got my paper there. If you have trouble cutting this stuff, just put a piece of paper with it to cut it. So I'm going to cut my 9 piece first. So 9. Okay. And then 3. Right? 3. No, 3 and a half. Glad I checked. So 3 and a half. All right, there we go. There's my piece. Get rid of this. Okay, and I might as well cut my back piece while I have this out. And I need 9 by 3 and a half. So I'm going to use up some of this tea stain file folder. So I'm going to go 3 and a half. Get rid of this. And 9. Okay, this can go away. I may try to bring my sewing machine over. So this has got to go on the back of here, and I will have to do some trimming. So let's see. Okay. So I'm just going to tack it and sew until I sew it. But let's see here. Yeah, let me just tack it. And I know the glue stick will not gum up my needles, so I'm just going to do glue stick, and I'm just going to tack just to hold it. I've got some gooey here. Okay. Just gonna try to stay away from the edge because that's where I'm going to be sewing. I'll just do this right here. It's not going to hold it forever, but it'll hold it for me to sew it. Then I'm going to try to get this lined up. Okay, that's my napkin. I thought I had glue there. So let me line this up. And it's a little bit bigger, so that's okay. I'm going to put the wider more to that edge there. Okay, I'm not getting it straight, so that's a problem with at nighttime seeing things. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So I'll have some trimming to do. Okay, so that's pretty good. All right, let me see if I can bring my sewing machine over, and I'm going to stitch around, and that's what's going to hold this plastic to this, because I'm not sure that I trust some of the glues for it to stay, especially when you're like moving things around, you know. So let me see if I can give this a quick trim. I'll probably have to trim it again after I sew it, but all right. All right, I'll trim it after I sew it. Just trying to think. I think I want to distress this edge here. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I did on the last one. I didn't. I should have done it before I cut it. So now I've got that plastic on there hindering me. All right, I'm just going to have to deal with it. All right, and I want to make sure I start over here, because on this one I started over here and I had a little bit of a knot where I tied it off, so I want that over here. All right, let's see if we can get my machine here. Okay, I got it. Oh, it's pretty heavy. It is a Bernina. Everything is metal on the inside. It's made in Switzerland. So there it is. It's like the lowest model. I use it for paper. All right, and I already have my brown thread in there. I only use quality thread, the sulky thread or embroidery thread, and I never use like vintage thread in my sewing machine, because you can get it, if it breaks off in your tension area up here and you can't get the thread out, you have to take it to get it fixed, and nowadays it's like $200 or $300 or more to get machines repaired. Excuse me. All right, I'm going to start over here, and what I like to do on paper is move my stitch length up. Now on my machine I like to go between 3 and 4, so you can do like a little test spot. Let me get a piece of paper and just show you. in the camera. All right, here's a piece of paper. I'm just going to show you the stitch length. I'll do regular stitch, and then I'll do the longer stitch. So let me find my foot pedal here. This is going to be regular stitch. Am I not plugged in? Something's not right here. All right. Okay. Alright, something is awry. I've pushed something. Okay. Hang on one sec. Let me take my bobbin out and see what's up. Okay, I'm good there. Let me cut this. It figures I move this, and if I can't stitch on here, I'll have to end the video because I want it stitched. I can't see to do this. There we go. Did I get it? Yep. There's a little hole I have to put the thread in. Alright, that's my chair squeaking. My new chair. That's because I sit forward. I'm going to rethread my needle. Okay, I can't really see what's going on. Alright, let me go back to the stitch that I want to do and see if that's it. Okay, I just feel like something is just not right. So I think all my plugs are in. Yep, okay, let's see if I can do it now. Yeah, it's like my foot pedal's not working. And I'm not sure why. There we go. It wasn't plugged in all the way. Alright. So now, this is the regular stitch. If you were just to stitch on paper. Okay. It's a tiny little stitch. Like so. Nothing really special. And it will rip your paper. Like you can, it's like so tight that it will rip. Then I like to put it at a higher stitch, which is like for me between 3 and 4 length. That way you can see the stitch, and if you use good quality silky thread like the embroidery thread, it looks really nice. And that's what I have in there. I have 2 different color browns, but that's okay. Like a beige and then a little darker brown in my bobbin. So here's the longer stitch. See how nice with the longer stitch. Actually, I'll go a little bit longer, almost to 4. You can see that stitch and how nice it is. So there's that. So that's what I'm going to do. And I want to start on this side, so when I tie it off on the back, because it is paper, it's on the back. So, oh, I almost had a heart attack that my machine wasn't working. I shouldn't talk about it, knock on wood. Okay. Now on mine, I have the option to do needle down. If you're looking for a sewing machine, I like the needle down position. I like that I can move my needle left or right where I'm sewing. So on here, I'll take my foot off and show you. I'm going to ride my foot along that line, but I want my needle to be all the way over to that edge, and I do have that option on this machine. I can move it over to the right, I can move it, you know, any way I want, so that I'm guiding, I'm using that. They have different feet attachments and whatnot, which is really cool. I used to take classes. I do have an embroidery machine as well. That's at my daughter's in Florida. So right now I'm going to start here, and I'm going to make sure you have enough thread out to tie it. If it's too short, sometimes it'll hang up in there, and I always like to hang on when I'm sewing on paper. I like to hang on to my thread when it gets started. That way it doesn't pull in, because it is paper. So I'm going to move my needle over all the way over to the right as far as I can. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but and then I'm going to put my needle in the down position, so when I stop, it's in the down position, and I can move my paper around. All right, let's get this over with. And I didn't back stitch because I'm going to try to hook up to that last stitch that I just did. So I'm just going to go around, and I'm going to go slow because I have that plastic in there. So see, I can move. I think I'm going to do, I got to do one more stitch. No. All right. So with my needle in the down position, I can lift my presser foot up, and I can move this around, and my stitches are not getting all out of whack. But if you're doing crazy stitch, that's okay. And I slow down when I get to the edge. Try to keep my threads out of the way. This will hold that plastic in place. I can hear it poking through the plastic. Okay, I can do one more stitch. I do have a heavy-duty needle in. Okay, I'm getting ready to get to the other side, and I'm going to pull my threads towards me, and I'm going to stop where that thread is, and then I'm going to tie it off in the back. Okay, there we have it. Pull it out, make sure I got enough thread to tie, and I'm going to move this back over out of the way. That was scary. Okay, I am back. Alright, so now I'm going to tie these off. And I have a little seam ripper here that I'm going to try to pull these threads to the back. So if you pull on one, it'll pull that loop up and you can pull it to the back. So now I'll pull on that other one. It's kind of hard to see at night, but try to grab it. Okay, got that one. I think I missed the other one. Yeah, I think I missed this one. I think I pulled the wrong thread. There it is. Okay. So I'm just going to tie these off and put a little bit of glue on them so they don't come out, because I am going to have, I think they'll be okay on this side, but just for safekeeping so that my stitches don't come out, because it is paper and plastic that I sewed on, so that's that. There's that. I do have a little jar I put my threads in for making stuff, little bird's nests, or, you know, something behind something. It's probably overflowing, but this is pretty strong thread too, this embroidery thread. Okay, so there's that. So I'm just going to put a little bit of Fabri-Tac . Oops, that's way too much. Okay. Now, where's my, here it is. Okay, I got a little crazy there, but I think I'm okay. All right, put that somewhere. All right, so now I want to try to trim this edge up here. It's just hard to see. I think I can get it now. I think that's pretty good. Trying to figure out where it went. Okay, I think I'm trimmed up pretty good, except for right here. And then I need to do put my template on here and put my holes. So this goes like so. Here, just gonna tack that there, like on that edge there. Try to line this up in the window. That's why I made a template. I think that's pretty good. Towards that edge. So that's where my holes are going to be, right there. I hope that works out. Alright, so we have the little things are dry. Our little Viewmasters. I'm going to poke the holes in them, and I used my, is this called a Big Bite or something? And I'm just using the second 1/8 hole. So I'll do these first. There is a small little white spot there that Amy has for guiding where your hole needs to be. And let's see if I can see where that is. Kind of hard to see at night. So it's going to be right there, right there, right there. Okay. There's one. There's two. And a three. Okay, and then I'll do these. So once I got a plan, this came together pretty quickly. I had originally just put those in, and then I realized I needed to back them with something so they would be sturdy. So now I put these on here. Oops. And I found some of these brads in my stash. Actually, I was shocked of all the colors that I have. Those are a little bit shiny, but I think I could use the alcohol markers on those. Then I have these. This one looks like it's in the wrong spot, but yeah, I probably should fix those. So I'm going to use these right here. Probably need to put these in a different case so they're all together, and because this is kind of overkill here. Alright, these are the ones I need. Sorry about that. Okay, and there's two different sizes, so I want the smaller. 2, 3, okay. Okay. The trick to these is, for me, let's see. I want that one there, that one there, and I think that one there, like that. No, I think I want this one in the middle. Okay. So I'm going to set it in place. Oops, I lost it. Set it in place, and then take your pokey tool and push that so it spreads like that, and then take your you can take your bone folder and push it down, or the back side of your tweezers or whatever you have. That saves on your fingers. So there we go. I like that. So put this one here. Because there's like one that's, I think one's taller than the other. Maybe they're the same size. I don't know. So there's that. So this turned out to be a cute little project, I will have to say. I really like it. Oops. The hands are like, I'm done for the day. I'm just done. So I'm just going to push that in the center to split it. Because I was trying to do it with my fingers and it was killing my fingers. So there you have it. Alright, so there's that. So then this is going to go on here, and I'm going to glue it. And I know I have it too big. I'll have to trim that off. So I'm going to glue, I'm going to hang on to this. I'm going to glue here, here, and here. But I think on this one, I'm going to put some double stick tape right here. It might get me in trouble, but when I'm trying to put it together, but I think I'm going to like it. And I've got this wide. I think this might be perfect. I think this will give me extra. I might put 2. Okay, so I'm going to peel this off. And then put my glue on and hope for the best. So I might regret this. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, my glue is ready. Okay. All right. So let's see what we get here. Just here. Down here. And I'm going to put glue over the tape too. I've seen Diane, Pretty Pink Cottage, do that, and it gives her some wiggle room. She does that. I just don't want to get too close to the plastic in the center because it'll just get all over the place. But I do want to make sure I get the edge. And it's so hard to see at night. Alright. Here we go. So I'm laying up this bottom here first. That actually worked out really well. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Oh, I like it. Yeah, pretty good. Yes. So see, I wished I'd have put some tape in here, but I think it's going to be okay. And then I just want to make sure it's good and down. Turn this edge here. Okay, that's good. And then the last final thing, I really like how that turned out, is to put the, where am I at time? I'm an hour, so put some of this here. So let's do that. And I need a brush. Okay, use that one. Oops. Okay. This, I had a hard time getting the lid off when I came back from Florida, so I put the parchment paper on there. I had to heat the outside of this lid with the heat tool very gently and keep trying to twist it, and I finally got it off. So now I have the parchment paper there, but just try not to get this around that edge, the outside edge. So let me try to get some of that there. And I'm just going to go over the top of my napkin. I'm probably going to put a new piece on there because I don't want that on there. So I'll put a new piece. So, whoa. This is where the time of night where I start throwing things. Okay, and I'm just going to cover that. Hopefully you can see. Love this stuff. And it doesn't make it shiny. It's a matte finish. And it'll just seal that napkin. I mean, it's on there really good. But it's just nice. Gives it a good feel too. So I'm just going to coat that. Going over the stitching as well. And it dries pretty quickly too, so I need a new wipe to clean this. Just so I can get it under the sink. Alright, I need a new piece of paper for this. It takes a bit to get it started. Let me move this over. There we go. Now it's good. That's good. Okay, there you have it. So excited. All right, I know that took a while. That is my, I got a glare. Where's my cheat sheet? Oh, my 50 stack challenge 8, number 3 and number 4 time card and napkin. I hope you got some inspiration out of that, and I hope you give it a try. It was super easy once I got a plan together and figured out what I wanted to do, but I will, so these will become belly bands. I will put something on the back here to cover these, so you could put this down on the page, just glue it top and bottom, and you could still tuck stuff in, or I might just put on the edge of a page like that and make it just a tuck here. So we'll see where it goes, but I like that you can turn these and you can see them, and you know, really cool. So I'll let this dry. So I have 2 of them now, so very cool. All right, I'll put Amy's information in the description. Go over and check her videos out. She always gives freebie digitals on occasion, so go check her out. All right, take care. Bye.